Well, hello, everyone. This is Carmen Vertullo with your Fastener Training Minute, coming to you from the Fastener Training Institute and AIM Testing Laboratory in beautiful El Cajon, California. As many of my Fastener Training Minute topics come, this one came from an email, a question in an email from a client of ours. And surprise, surprise, at the root of the question was hydrogen embrittlement. The lesson is not about hydrogen embrittlement. It's about something else. It has to do with what to do when a customer rejects a product based on a requirement that was not part of the original inquiry or the specification that governs the product. How do you handle that? And when we return, I'll tell you the story and maybe give you some information about how to properly teach or train your customers to not expect what is unreasonable when they buy commercial products.
Fastener basics like never before. The Fastener Training Institute has launched a new series of 90-minute webinar sessions in a 22-part course, Fastener Basics, taught by Carmen Vertullo. This is a fast-paced course designed to bring new fastener professionals up to speed in the shortest possible time. This exciting new program begins in May, so don't hesitate. And for you owners and managers, Carmen has a special offer he'd like to make to explain why you should not miss this chance to train your new staff members with the Fastener Basics course. Email him at carmenv@aimtestlab.com. Learn more about Fastener Basics like never before at fastenertraining.org. Quality products, quality service, quality customers. That's 3Q Inc., a fastener distributor unlike any you've worked with before. With its unique remote managed inventory stocking programs, wide array of secondary service offerings, and wholly owned cold forming capability, 3Q Inc. has been supporting fastener distributors since 2008. 3Q offers a wide range of 100% American-made fasteners, including 100% made in USA domestic lock washers, clevis pins and bolts, special ITW screw products, Tap-R, Boss Screw, TL stud, and grip tied inserts, Sems lock washer products, split lock washers, tooth lock washers, and square cone, as well as specialty and imported parts. Give 3Q a call today to discuss your needs and experience 3Q quality for yourself. 3Q Inc. www.3q-inc.com.
Well, welcome back to the Fastener Training Minute. This is Carmen Vertullo, and today we're talking about situations, and I don't know what the right word would be, but let's just call it unrealistic expectations from an uninformed customer about commercial fastening product. In this particular situation, I got an email from a client for whom we had conducted some hydrogen embrittlement testing on some commercial socket head cap screws that were black zinc plated, very high quality socket screws, theoretically, provided by one of what is considered to be the high-end quality product providers in the socket head cap screw space. These were ASTM A574 inch socket head cap screws. I think they were about 3/8 by 2.5. And they passed the hydrogen embrittlement test. My client went on to ship them overseas to the military of another country. And one of the things those military folks did is they took those socket head cap screws and they subjected them to a test for internal and external flaws. And that test was a magnetic particle inspection. The magnetic particle inspection is a fluorescence inspection with small steel particles in a magnetic field that's designed to see surface flaws and subsurface flaws that the human eye can't see. And they found one of these parts had a longitudinal indication, and that's what we call it when we find one of these flaws. We call it an indication of a seam in this part. And a seam is a thing that happens in material when we cold form it or draw wire, where the material kind of folds over on itself. And this just makes a beautiful green line right down the side of the part from the head all the way through the threads. And so they want to reject this product. Well, sadly, or maybe fortunately, depending on what side of this equation you're on, there is no requirement for this magnetic particle inspection anywhere in the customer's inquiry, nor on the governing standard, which is ASTM A574. In fact, ASTM A574 allows for seams in the product. It's not necessarily a rejectable discontinuity, depending upon how large and deep the seam is. So what to do now? The customer says, hey, you shipped me crappy parts, but what you did is you met the requirement of the purchase order. And now the key is to train the customer to understand that when they require a product that meets a level of quality, whether it's something like a magnetic particle inspection or a certain dimensional requirement that's not included in the standard, they should inform you of that prior to placing the order or during the quotation process, let's say, and then you can accommodate them with a product that's not likely to get rejected when they get it in their hands because you will have performed that requirement prior to shipping the product. In this case, the product could have easily been magnetic particle inspected 100%. It's not that expensive of an inspection. If we found any bad parts, we throw them out, and maybe we throw out the whole lot, but we certainly throw out the bad ones, and then they are not going to have that problem. So the customer presents that unrealistic expectation, and to be honest with you, if they're uninformed, they are going to have a hard time hearing that there's nothing wrong with the product that they just found this indication on. So there are two ways you can do that. One, if you understand the specification well, you can simply take your IFI online book of standards out and cut that piece out of the standard and highlight it and send it to them that says exactly what is required of the standard and what isn't. Inform them how happy you are to be able to meet their requirements when they're stated at the time of the purchase order. And most folks are reasonable and they don't mind being educated or informed. And the next time the order comes up, everything goes smoothly. So that's the way that is. In this case, of course, my customer, our client, sort of panicked and thought, oh, crap, they sent us bad parts. Well, no one sent you bad parts. You got what you ordered, and you provided the end user what they ordered. The problem was the end user didn't order what they needed. So that's how that works. I hope that was helpful to you. It happens in all kinds of other circumstances, dimensional things, other things where client or customer has an unrealistic expectation of a commercial fastening product. Well, this has been Carmen Vertullo with your Fastener Training Minute. I hope you learned something.